Hello everyone, welcome back to our geometry class. This week we are going to continue our conversation about the quadrilateral, and we are going to discover a new skill this week, which is called using coordinate geometry to finish some proof. So the very first thing we are going to discuss and talk about is coordinate geometry. So when you see the word coordinate geometry, the most standing out word is the first word coordinate, right? Because this is a geometry class. And whenever we talk about coordinate, the first thing probably you are thinking is like the location of the point or the coordinate plane. Like I give you the point, you can plot the point, or when we see the point on the coordinate plane, we can find the coordinates of the point. So let's say we have a picture of the United States map. And if you just look at this map, there is just an outline. So in geometry, the most important tool for coordinates is if we added coordinates in the background. So now we can easily to tell some location of certain points. And if we set up the coordinate plane in a different way, the location will be different. So that's exactly the why coordinate geometry is very important, because it's very easy to help us to identify location. Just like if you want to meet someone, somebody is asking, where are you? You wouldn't say I'm next to a tree, I'm next to a building. It's easy to tell you are the intersection of the two streets or things like that. So it's easy to tell location. So coordinates is more like to serve that purpose. So coordinate geometry in our class this week, we are going to focus on. Before we are talking about the quadrilateral, we know we can identify the different type of quadrilateral. And this week we are going to move on to the different direction. The thing that we are going to do is, for example, I give you a quadrilateral, a random quadrilateral on the coordinate plane. Then how can you prove it is a parallelogram? How do you prove that it is a square? Things like that. And the tool we are going to use to complete the proof is coordinate geometry. We cannot say, hey, it looked like a parallelogram. Or you say, hey, the lines are parallel, so that's why they are parallelogram. You have to use a certain evidence. You have to show the proof. Use evidence to support your claim, to claim this is a parallelogram or not. And the way we use it is actually we do a lot of calculation to complete the proof. It's quite different from the very traditional proof in geometry. So you may wonder now, then how do we actually do this proof? Is you just keep saying we have to use coordinate geometry. So what are we going to use? That's exactly the focus of today. So what are we going to use is when we see using coordinate geometry, we actually using coordinates of the point. We read the coordinates of the point, and then we are going to choose a proper formula to say, are you going to prove they are parallel? Are you going to prove the sides are congruent? Things like that. So the coordinate geometry is actually, we are going to use the coordinates of the point, and then we are also going to choose a proper formula, which we are going to go over today to complete this proof. So all the information here I'm sharing with you is actually the brief introduction of coordinates geometry. And we are going to use two formulas today. One is slope formula, one is distance formula to complete what we mentioned before about the proving. Sounds like a little bit crazy, or sounds like a little bit too much information for you to share or for you to process now. Take it easy, because when we break down, you will say, oh, that's how we're going to use this formula to complete the proof. It's not going to be like super crazy. So in this video, I just want to quickly give you a brief introduction regarding what is coordinate geometry and what are the things we are going to use in this topic, in this skill. So this is just brief introduction. In the next two videos, because we are going to discover slope formula, we are also going to use distance formula. So we are going to use two videos to introduce how do we use this formula and how do we use this formula to complete the proof. Again, be patient with the process, even though it looks like there's a lot of calculation, but once you get to use to it and you understand the logic behind it, it's actually pretty easy. So take it easy, be patient. I'm looking forward to seeing you in next videos, okay? See you soon, everyone.